Hey, Kathy here from Sweet Fern Organics, and this is what I did on Saturday, a brand new market farmer. These are just some items that needed to get done, and here's what I'm doing. Right now, there's a little helper. I'm just getting ready to disinfect these harvest baskets that we purchased from somebody. I got 100 of them and that's only 4, but that's all I needed. And I'm also going to wash some trays I'm going to be using to grow my microgreens. And here we are in super warp speed, and I'm messing around with the hose, trying to figure it out. Hoses are complicated. Oh, there I go. Oh, we can figure it out. Oh, there we go. Nice. So I'm filling the bucket with water. Oh, no, I'm not. Just emptying it, rinsing it out, adding some bleach, and measure really accurately, and filling it up with water. My daughter's kind of in the way, but you probably can visualize what water looks like filling in a bucket. And here we go. So that's enough. Didn't need a full bucket. Just needed enough to wash these. So, let's clear out of the way. Let's get all this stuff out that we don't need. Okay, and start. Wash, wash, wash. Wash, wash, wash. Yep. So, just washing away. Very exciting. And yeah, these were used for produce before us, but wanted to disinfect them anyways because we are also going to be using them for produce. Their own things. Today I put arugula in them, as you will see later on in the video. And I just keep washing. Oh, then I get smartened up and moved it onto the table so I wasn't bending over when there's a perfectly good table to use. Okay. I'm doing the last one there. Yeah, pretty exciting stuff, I know. Riveting Saturday chores. And now I'm disinfecting these these microgreen trays. I was just checking the size there to see if they were the same size as the other ones I ordered, which they are, which is good. I just ordered these from Canadian Tire. They had them in stock. That was very lucky because I found that they're kind of hard to get, these trays. So anyways, I finished washing those. Now it's time to rinse them out with the hose. So I line them up. And what I'm lining them up against is our hoop house with nothing in it. It's actually just one of those small little garages or sheds, you know, with the fabric covering, but we don't have any plastic yet to cover it up. But someday we will. So yeah, I'm just rinsing the boxes. Yeah. And I should have pulled up my pants a little bit, but there you go. Some butt crack for you. There's more where that came from throughout this video, let me tell you. But anyways, yeah, just rinsing off the trays. I disinfect the top and bottom of them, even though I only plant in the inside, but I stack them, so they need to be disinfected on the top and bottom. Okay, now that cleaning chore is down. It's on to untarping 2 of those 4 beds and getting them all ready to be planted in. So I'm just removing the patio stones that we have a ton of, so we can use them to weigh down our tarps, which we do. And yeah, just pulling a tarp over, walking on the beds, whatever. Yeah, having a little bit of difficulty, but that's okay. We'll get it in. And just using the other patio slabs to hold down the tarp. And you see my dog over there, he's just chilling out, eating a bone. He also likes to chase. There's raccoons in the very far corner of those trees back there, so he occasionally will run towards them and bark. Because he's a dog and that's what he likes to do. Alright, so we got those uncovered. Good job done. Alright, now I'm raking them flat, but truth be told, I really don't know how to use this rake very well. It's my first time, and the beds do not look very flat to me, but I just went with it. I was just trying to get the grass off it, the clumps of grass that could have been there off of it that were there. And I'm trying to even it out. If you have any tips on how to use this giant rake, please let me know in the comments, because I am not very adept at using it yet. But this was my first time, so you know. It is what it is. I don't know if you're supposed to go with it on the back side of the rake. I don't know, but that's what I did. And there. Looked pretty good. Oh, just get that clump of grass out. Not bad. And now it's time to get the compost. So this is our mushroom compost we use. And it's under a tarp. And I just remembered that it's at the back of that pile. We have some topsoil at the front and mushroom compost at the back. So get the tarp off the back. Just manhandle that tarp. It's all good. There we go. Bring the wheelbarrow around and start shoveling in the compost. Yep, so this is wheelbarrow number 1 of, I don't know, 8 or so that I did. But you'll see that, because, you know, it's part of this video. And now I'm done that wheelbarrow full, and I'm walking back to the garden, and oh, there I am, dumping it out. So the first time I just dumped it all out, and then I rolled over it and dumped it all again, or got the rest of it out, and then I realized, I think I might be wrecking this bed as I do that, so I didn't do that the next time. What am I gonna do here? So, came back more. I forgot to do my second. This is actually my third load. I forgot to do the second one because I forgot to hit record. So that's the third load. Oh, there comes my helper again. And now I'm using a bucket to help spread it instead of driving the wheelbarrow onto the beds to dump it. I'm just using a bucket. And it's getting hotter outside, so I shed one layer of clothing. My helper's helping with a little trowel. She likes to get right in there and give a hand. So I'm just spreading this out on the 2 beds as well as I can. Oh, and then for the rest I just dump it out. And onto the other side of the beds where we continue to dump compost. And I just decided to manhandle all of the compost into the bucket, so I wasn't using 20 buckets full, instead it was only a few to get it all out of the wheelbarrow. And Keely's getting right in there, getting her trowel full. Very riveting, right? Filling buckets and dumping buckets. Alright, dump the rest out there. And on to the next wheelbarrow full. Oh, it's getting hot out. Shed another layer of clothes, and I'm in a t-shirt now. Just piling it in there. I have no idea if this was the best method, but this is the method I chose to do, so here we are. Still dumping. My helper left. I'm not sure where she went. And dumping the end of that one. And then I bring one final wheelbarrow full in, I bring one final wheelbarrow full to the garden and just fill in all those spots that looked a little thin. So, still porn buckets. Okay, done that. Now on to my favorite, the giant rake. So I'm trying to rake this flat. Not too flat because we're going to mix it in again, but just to get the piles flattened. Didn't have to be perfect, so I wasn't too worried about this part of it. So, my little helper behind me helping me flatten it. Now I'm on to the broad fork. Now, I've never used a broad fork before, had no idea how to use it. So I just kind of went in, wiggled it out, put it in, wiggled it a bit, pulled it out. All the way down this whole bed. Oh, Keely's helping me. She kind of tumbled there, but she's good. She's a tough cookie. Yeah, so just kind of slightly mixing it in. I really didn't know what I was doing. Probably should have looked it up first. But anyways, so almost done wiggling. There we go. So when I look back at it, I realized I didn't really mix it up at all. So I went inside and watched a YouTube video on how to actually use a broad fork. And I seen that you're supposed to dig it in and wiggle it out, like stomp it in and wiggle it out. So I did this bed over again using that method. And then I kind of thought, am I over mixing it? I don't know, but it looked better than the other way where it was not even mixed in at all. So I just went with it, hoping I wasn't destroying the beds that John made last year. But I thought, well, I think it's okay. So I just continued on, pushing it in and wiggling it out. And I think it worked out okay. I don't know. As I said before, if you have any suggestions on how to use this or any tips or tricks, please let me know. I'm brand new and I don't know exactly what I'm doing. Flying by the seat of my pants, as it were. So, finish that first bed. Now it's on to the second one. Oh, ditching the sweater again. It was a weird day when the sun was out, it was hot, but it went behind a cloud and it cooled right off again. So, now ready for the second bed. Let's do it. It was fun though. I like broad forking. It's, I don't know, satisfying, I guess, watching the compost get mixed in with the soil. And jumping on the broad fork is kind of fun too. And Keely was beside me trying to fix up the beds when that we thought we might have destroyed just a little bit on that with that last pass of the broad fork. She did a good job. So there we go, almost done the second bed. Now what we've done since then is planted kale in one of those beds and chard. Alright, now it's time to flatten it, which I did a horrible job at. Seriously, this big rake, I don't know. I need a tutorial for how to use it because it's a little much. I don't really know how to flatten it correctly, or how to use it to flatten the beds correctly. So, I guess that was good enough for the first bed. And the second bed, I looked at it, thought, oh, it's not very good, but I didn't think the first bed was good either, so I thought, oh, maybe John will help me when he gets home, because he has done it before. So I just left it at that. Now it's on to harvest some radishes. Now, these radishes were pretty much a complete failure. We grew them in soil blocks inside, and they just did not grow right at all. Probably should have just started them from seed in the beds, but we tried to get ahead of the game. It just didn't work out. You can't see here, but you can see a little bit later that I'm pulling a lot out, but I'm only putting a few in the basket. Most of them are getting put into the walkways to get picked up and cleared out and thrown in the compost because they just did not grow correctly. Yeah, a lot of them bolted too, like some went to seed and they're just pretty much a failure, but you know, it's our first year and we didn't really know what we're doing, and we still don't really know exactly what we're doing. We're just trying to figure it out. So we know what not to do, that's for sure. And what am I doing here? Oh, taking pictures. There was a funny looking radish. I'll insert the picture here if I can find it, but yeah, I will. I know where it is. It's on my phone. I'll insert the picture there because it was kind of funny. Anyways, I continue to harvest / just pull out the rotten radishes. No, they aren't rotten, but they are not edible, a lot of them. It's a little bit disappointing, but what are you gonna do? Shake it off and try it again. Yeah, so still picking radishes. So that was our big radish take. That's them with the leaves still on. And those are all the waste ones. And look at that excellent camera work. You can hardly tell who's behind the camera there. Anyways, it's a lot of compost. Yeah. Then at the end of the day, I took off all the stems, or all the leaves, and that's what we were left with. Not much. I ended up just roasting those radishes. They weren't bad. And now I am harvesting our arugula, which is pretty tall and we kind of let overgrow. So arugula was another, let's call it a complete fail, because we could eat it, and we are eating it. It's pretty good, but we can't sell it because it's too big. Like, we just let it go too long, and they're just not perfect pieces of lettuce, so we can't really sell it. So we'll be eating a lot of arugula, but again, I threw a lot of the really big leaves off to the side for compost, because honestly, arugula is not my personal favorite food. Lettuce, I found a little bit too strong, and those big pieces are definitely too strong for me. But we have mixed it in a salad, and it's been quite nice actually. So, I mean, we're eating the arugula, but our intent was to sell it. So, lessons are being made and learned here. So, yeah. And I just keep going. What I'm really trying to do is just get rid of the big leaves and leave the smaller ones, or like leave the smaller ones to continue growing, but get rid of the big ones and keep the lettuce that are a good size, like 4 inches long, 4 to 6 inches. You know, a smaller arugula size. So yeah, that's what I did, and I'm honestly still not even done doing that arugula pile, because you'll see here I did not finish harvesting it, and I still haven't, and it's about 4 days later. Hopefully tonight I will get at it. And I'm at the other side, just harvesting. And again, like I said, I'm just trying to get the big leaves out of there for the most part. See how much waste there is in the walkways there. Compost. I'm just using a pair of like shears. I don't know, Fisker's shears. I don't really know. John got them last year. They're pretty handy for trimming that. I guess any pair of scissors would do as well. And now it's time to clean up. That's it. I finished what I wanted to do with everything, and it's just time to put the paving stones back on our big giant pile of paving stones and clean up all of the walkways with the compost. So yeah, just do a bunch of cleanup right now, and that's it. That's basically what I did on Saturday as a brand new market gardener who doesn't really know what they're doing yet. So that's me fumbling my way through. Hope you enjoyed. See you next time.